The War Council chamber hummed with tension as Admiral Kane studied the holographic display floating above the central table. 300 ships formed the largest fleet humanity had ever assembled, their sleek forms arranged in perfect formation against the backdrop of distant stars. Each vessel represented decades of technological advancement, forged from humanity's relentless drive to reach this moment. Commander Reed adjusted his uniform and cleared his throat. "Admiral, the fleet reports ready for jump. All captains await. Your orders." Kane nodded slowly, his weathered face reflecting the weight of 500,000 years of history. The data stream surrounding them told a story that began when humanity was still learning to make fire. Archaeological evidence had revealed the truth buried in Earth's deepest strata. Another species had once called their world home. The ancients, as humanity had named them, possessed technology so advanced it seemed like magic to early human civilizations. Dr. Morgan stepped forward from her position near the tactical displays. Her voice carried the authority of someone who had spent decades studying their quarry. "The probe data confirms our suspicions. They've been watching us, Admiral. Every major leap in human development, every breakthrough in space travel, every expansion into new systems. They've been there in the shadows observing." The hologram shifted to show intercepted transmissions, alien symbols that humanity's best cryptographers had finally decoded. The messages spoke of disappointment, of a young species that had failed to learn the lessons the ancients had hoped to teach through their absence. Humanity's expansion into space, their wars, their refusal to unite under a single banner, had marked them as failures in ancient eyes. Captain Torres, the youngest member of the council, spoke up. "They left us to develop naturally. 500,000 years of evolution, and they expected us to become something we're not. What gives them the right to judge us?" Kane turned to face the assembled officers. The weight of command had aged him beyond his years, but his eyes burned with the same fire that had driven humanity to the stars. They made one critical error in their calculations. They underestimated what we would become when faced with extinction. The ancients had returned 6 months ago, their ships materializing in Earth's orbit like ghosts from humanity's forgotten past. Their ultimatum was simple: submit to re-education and genetic modification, or face annihilation. They viewed humanity as a cosmic disappointment, a species that had squandered the gift of intelligence and free will. But humanity had not spent 5 centuries conquering space to surrender when faced with their former landlords. Reed pulled up another display showing human colonies scattered across dozens of star systems. "Our industrial capacity has been working at maximum output since the ultimatum. Every shipyard, every forge world, every mining operation has contributed to this fleet." The ships surrounding them represented more than military might. They embodied humanity's greatest strength, their ability to adapt, survive, and overcome impossible odds. Where the ancients had achieved perfection through eons of careful development, humanity had achieved innovation through necessity and conflict. Dr. Morgan highlighted a section of the alien technology they had studied. "Their weakness is their arrogance. They still think in terms of the primitive species they left behind. They don't understand what we've become." Admiral Kane smiled grimly. The ancients possessed superior individual technology, but they had grown complacent during their long exile among the stars. They had forgotten that survival breeds creativity, and humanity had survived everything their homeworld and the cosmos could throw at them. "The target system contains their primary staging area," Kane announced. "Intelligence suggests they're preparing a cleansing fleet to sterilize Earth and begin terraforming it back to their specifications. We stop them there, or we lose everything. Our species has built." The fleet began its jump sequence, reality bending around each ship as they tore holes in space-time itself. Human engineering had achieved in centuries what the ancients had needed millennia to perfect. Desperation had proven to be a powerful motivator. As they emerged in the target system, Kane felt a surge of pride watching his fleet deploy with mechanical precision. 300 ships moved as one, their crews representing every nation, every colony, every fragment of humanity that had ever gazed at the stars and dreamed of reaching them. The ancient fleet waited for them, smaller, but clearly, more advanced. Their ships moved with an ethereal grace that spoke of technologies humanity could barely comprehend. But grace meant nothing against determination. All ships, Kane spoke into his communicator, his voice carrying across the void to reach every human soul in the fleet. Today we face those who would unmake everything we are. They judge us for our flaws, but those same flaws made us strong enough to stand here today. Show them what humanity has become. The battle began as two civilizations, separated by 500,000 years of divergent evolution, clashed among the stars. One fought to preserve their vision of cosmic order. The other fought for the right to exist as they chose to be. Humanity had learned long ago that survival was not guaranteed. Today, they would teach their ancient predecessors the same lesson.